probably first decided to enter the roofing industry as a young kid. My dad and my grandfather were in the industry, and my grandfather always asked when I was going to join the company, if I was going to join the company. But we were raised at a time when you were told you should go off to college, so I thought a college career made more sense to me than working in the roofing industry. But I decided to be a math major, which really wasn't my forte, and after a semester of spending my money, I decided I'd rather make money than spend money, and so I joined my dad's roofing company. Started out as an apprentice doing all the nasty stuff that apprentices do, worked my way up through the ranks to become a journeyman, and then all of a sudden the superintendent was no longer working for the company, and I got thrust into that role to be the superintendent. Wasn't taken over real well. Wasn't liked by a lot of people. Some people quit, but I did my best to run the company the way I could. And then one day my dad came up to me. He was him and my mom were getting a divorce, and he pretty much just said, "Kevin, I'm going to close the doors unless you want to run it." I took it as a challenge. He said, "We don't have any bank financing. We owe everybody money, so the challenges are going to be great for you." But I was young, ambitious. I jumped on it, and for the next 8 years continued to grow the company. We had great successes, but we got to the point in our relationship where I either had to keep my dad as my father or keep him as a boss. At that point I decided to keep him as a father, and I left. So at that point I decided to move back to Sterling. My dad's company had gone bankrupt, but my brother had opened up a division of Froeter Industrial Roofing called Sterling Commercial Roofing. I joined that and spent the next 20 years working for the company, growing the company, but it got to the point where I decided it was time for a change again. I either needed to retire or go on my own, so I made an offer to Freeport to buy the company. After a little bit of haggling, they agreed, and I bought the company, and that was in 2008. And then from that point, I think we started out with about 35 people. We've grown the company up to about 215 people now. So it's been a great ride, and it's a new challenge every day, but it's been a lot of fun. We have received a lot of awards for the company. We've been Versico's King's Court Award winner for the last 15 years. We've been Firestone Master Contractor Award winner for 6 years. We've received the CRCA Gold Medal Safety Award 2 years, the MRCA Gold Medal Safety Award, numerous awards through the years from various organizations. So we've been very successful in that venue. Safety has always been the most important aspect of our business. Our philosophy's been safety is the only choice. Safety comes before anything and everything that we do. The safety and well-being of our employees is paramount to us every day. We strive to improve the best that we can with every aspect, but we accept nothing less than perfection when it comes to safety. I feel that I've contributed a lot to safety in the industry. I've been on the CRCA Safety Committee for the last 5 years as co-chairman, and we've instigated many new policies within the organization that we try to contribute out to the rest of the companies that are out there. We just instigated the first wellness award as a member of the safety committee for the CRCA to help to improve with the emotional, physical, and psychological well-being of employees working for different companies. I think the goals for the future has always been, I have a saying that just says the only company better than Sterling Commercial Roofing today is going to be Sterling Commercial Roofing tomorrow. Our goal is always every day to reinvent ourselves and to have to be the best that we can possibly be. Outside of work, there's not much that I do. Work pretty much consumes me 24/7. But when I do find time, I try to do a little bit of gardening, cooking, and I do love sports cars. But work is what drives me every day. After 50 years, I still love it as much as I've ever have, probably even more than I ever have. I think the experiences that I've learned the most from are the mistakes that I've made. When we've done a job and we failed and we did it wrong, We stood behind it, we went back, we replaced the roof. We made sure at the end of the day that that customer was happy, no matter what the cost was. And I learned if I take care of the customer will be back. And if I don't, I'll lose them forever. One of the most interesting, challenging events that I've had in my life is we built a project called Imagination Station here in town. And what it is, it's a giant playground area that we make out of wood. And I volunteered to be one of the foremen on the job, and I was really excited about being on this project. It was going to be a blast. It was going to be a lot of fun. Well, I had a boating accident, and I severely damaged my leg to the point where I was on a Bledsoe brace and on crutches, and it made working on this project very challenging. But saying no wasn't an option. So I had to figure out how I was going to do this and how to make it work. So they were kind enough to allow me a little table where I could cut all the wood that needed to be cut on the project. But then I got bored with that. So then I started delivering wood to people on my crutches and delivering tools on my crutches. And we worked probably 10-hour days on this project. And I have never been so exhausted in my life and physically drained. And it just showed me how far you can push the human body and to what extreme that your mind overcomes what your capabilities are. I rested for a few weeks afterwards. It was an interesting experience. The best advice that I can give to other business owners is never put money first. Put your employees, put your customers first. When I started this business, I did it for two reasons. One, my employees needed a job, and I cared for them, and my customers needed a good roofing contractor. And I felt if I took care of both of those items first, I might make a buck or two. We've grown the company into a $60 million company by putting those two people first, and it's worked out real well for us. One of the challenges in businesses is trying to juggle work-life balances. Work always has a tendency to take center stage, but at the end of the day, you really have to make time for your family, for your wife, for your kids. I think to accomplish anything in life, there has to be a lot of focus. You have to concentrate. You have to give 110% at all times. This isn't something you can take lightly. One of my project managers came into my office one day and he said, Kevin, the thing that I love most about you is your passion, your dedication to your job. You truly love what you're doing, and it shows. And I think that's how you can lead other people. You lead people by your compassion, by your dedication. That speaks volume. Actions speak louder than words, and I think those are good ideas to keep in mind.